Hey everyone, I'm Anna Huthmaker with Huthmaker Violins, and this is the next one of our Student Stuck at Home series. So sometimes when you go for a while and you're unable to get in to see your teacher, whether it's at school or a private teacher, sometimes you kind of get a little lost and you're not really sure how to move forward in your practicing. And today I want to give you 3 different tips and tricks for practicing, for using your time really wisely and for getting the very most out of your practice session. So these are all things that I did when I was in middle school and high school, and they aren't guaranteed to work. So the first thing I want to show you is the penny method. Now, if you notice, I have 5 pennies stuck on my stand. Now, I suggest starting with 5. If you want to get really intense, you can move to 10, but it's a very simple idea. The pennies are all on the left side of your music stand. Once you start playing whatever section you're practicing on, I do suggest choosing something short, 1 line maybe 2 lines. And you play it until you can play it really perfectly, really nicely. And once you get that one done really nicely, one of those pennies gets moved over to the other side. Then you go back and you do it again. You're going for perfection, right notes, right rhythms, nice dynamics, correct bowings, good sound, good intonation. When you do it again, second time in a row, 2 pennies. Sounds kind of easy, right? Except if you mess up that F sharp, you play an F natural instead, one of those pennies has to slide back over. Your job is to focus and to concentrate and to try and get all 5 pennies from one side of the stand to the other. It's the penny method. I bet some of your teachers did it when they were kids too. That one's kind of old school. The second thing is what I call the map method. Now, when I was a kid, it was just very easy to kind of break up my etudes into little bits so that I could get it all learned in a week. And so what I would do is I would do lines, practice 1 line. On Monday, maybe I'd practice 2 lines, first line and second line. And on Tuesday, I'd do second line and third line. But here's why it's the map. You also have to do the corners. You got to be able to know how to take the curves. If you only practice the lines, but you don't know how to go from the first line to the second, you will get lost and you will trip up. So after you're done practicing your lines, do the last measure of the first line and the first of the second. Do that 4, 5, 6 times. Maybe get out your pennies so that you've got a nice smooth transition from line to line. The map method, it's really helpful when you're trying to practice. Now, the third one is my personal favorite, and it takes more discipline, but it will make you such a good musician if you can do it. And I call it the capsule method. I always imagine like a big old capsule. The idea is you start playing, and when you make a mistake, and this is where the discipline comes in because you have to stop when you make a mistake. You take that mistake and you really want to try and find out where it was. Was it a particular shift? Was it a bowing? Was it a specific note? But you don't want to practice just that note or just that bowing. You need to wrap around. You need to encapsulate the mistake because often it wasn't that note. It wasn't that bowing. It was actually getting into the note or shifting out of the note. And that's what we don't realize a lot of the time is that our mistake is not what's right there in the middle. It's what's all around it. So the capsule method, what I used to do is I would make a copy of my etude, and I would play, and when I made a mistake, in the beginning when I was learning, like the mistake would be 3 whole measures. So I would draw a capsule around it. And as the week went by, I would erase my capsules and they get smaller and smaller, but I would still end up, with these smaller capsules encapsulating the mistake so I can really hone in and fix exactly what needed to be fixed. No need to practice all that time on the stuff you really, really know. You want to really concentrate on the stuff that's the problem. So I'm hoping that you will either use a penny method, a map method, or a capsule method to focus in and learn your etude, your scale, your solo, whatever it is you're working on, so that you have some direction and some focus. And the next time you do see your teacher, they can be blown away by how good you've gotten. I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope you take a second to go shoot off an email to your teacher, say thank you for all the work you're putting into me, and I hope you have a great day. Now, go practice an etude, please.